Hello and welcome back to Better Minecraft. We are back. We are actually on the bigger dock down here. I've actually done a bit of work down here off camera. There was a bunch of just open water pieces throughout all of this. The turtles are actually above one. But there's just a lot of excess water and there's a giant pit here. I went ahead and filled all these in. So everything's prepped for me to get building in this area. Also, I've done some building stuff off camera. I've done give me a second. I did like a color palette because I did want these buildings to feel a bit different to those back there. They aren't going to be completely different. They're going to be still pretty similar. But they're going to be more, I want to say more raggedy. I don't think that's the right way of putting that, but they're going to look more disheveled down here. I probably don't have the woods to get these guys figured out, but I am going to be getting all of the buildings in. I at least want to get started with this set of 3 right here, just so I can get like a prepped up version of it. I can get a feel for the area. Not to mention, this building and this building is actually the framework to the main road, which is going to start back there and head back that way. So I have to get these 2 in before I can start work on the highway, I'm using that loosely. It's just mainly the main road that goes through here. And then I also want like bridges between the buildings, things of that. Now, of course, sometimes these buildings do change. Like that one actually has a block further back, or a set of blocks further back. I don't want to do that in the front. Generally, I want the front of these buildings to be all the same level. But I want them to be how do I put this? I want this area to be flat because all the stuff that's going to be happening out here is going to be a lot. I'm thinking though, maybe I may bring this middle piece. I'm going to get some of the original like wall pieces in before I make that decision. But yeah. Also, I plan on keeping this little sand bit here. I actually want to put some trees in this and throw some more shells on there and maybe some more like grassy bits, like some of our wild crops that we have over there. Maybe throw a few in here. Just for decoration purposes. Also, I've put in something down here. I'm slowly working on this, but you'll notice I now have a conduit down here. I put one of these guys together because it helps whenever I'm down here decorating in this area and when I'm building up the dirt area and stuff like that. It helps. Hi. There's a bunch of drowned over here. But it helps whenever I'm building in this area, essentially. And I'm slowly working on the underwater portion. You guys are mainly going to see the above ground portion, though. to kind of describe, I'm going to cut off the speed build for a second and kind of describe what I was doing in here. This is going to be more of a general store. This is going to be more of a back door out here. And so, due to this being a general store, it's going to have a lot more stock. So there's going to be tables with things on them out here. There's going to be a whole second story, and I wanted the person who's actually running the shop to be able to come up here and see what they're getting into up here. So I wanted the staircase accessible to them and for them to kind of be able to look up there and notice if anybody's up there. So that's the reason I backed it up so much, and that the staircase and this sand is right here. The sand is just showing off where the counter is going to be. So that is a bottom floor in. Now, it doesn't look too magnificent right now because, of course, I don't have any of my hyper detailing in or anything else like that. I don't even have the market stalls out here that are supposed to be out front of every single one of these buildings. Both this one and this other side building out here are going to have like smaller market stands that I've actually put up before. I can give you guys some examples. Whoop. These two right here. I'm going to be putting more of these type market stalls outside those two houses. And there's going to be more of like a shorter, more covered, just like canopy, maybe this far out. Just over, draping from the front of the building down a little bit. Just so we can have that same effect on the rest of these. And I think I'm just going to put it over the window area here and leave the door open. So it kind of would feel like the market stall like these two, but it's just like a covered canopy, and I'm probably going to have some stuff just sitting out here right outside the window for the person who's working to be able to see if anybody's coming up and interested in any of this. The funny ways I see this thing coming into view. Okay, now I know, just flat wall. I get it. There are going to be windows and stuff on this. This isn't just going to be a flat wall. But this is the kind of the new gradient I'm going with. I am starting with 2 layers of wood and then going into the actual harder to get material. Not only does this save me on material, it also makes there to actually be a little bit of a gradient. And these, that's kind of annoying. The rest of them don't do that, but you two are doing that. They're probably going to move here in a little bit anyway. But whenever I put windows in, of course, windows are going to sit on the 2 middle blocks. The one that's actually framed is actually going to move up a block. So some of this is going to move. For that. So some of this is going to move. I'm also going to need fence gates, and I don't have any gates, but I can go get gates. Fence gates and stackable logs, as well as a bunch of flower pots and things of that nature to try and make this look a little bit different. Of course, I still have the shutters down here on the main floor. You would have shutters on the main floor. But the upper stories are going to have more decorative things. They're going to have flower pots and things of that nature. Okay, now as you guys can probably tell, I haven't finished the back of this building yet. Yeah, that's a whole thing. I haven't even done the windows on the side, I'll be honest. But I wanted you guys to actually have a view of what most of the buildings on this front area are going to look like. So my main worry today is the front of these buildings. Okay, now excuse the shulker monster that is happening out here, but that is kind of the same building process. I want to basically copy paste this over to this area right here, because it has essentially the same format, just the buildings are a little bit thinner on this side. I'm going to end up probably bringing one of them out one more, just to give some definition to the buildings. But yep, that is what we are looking at for the area up here. Now, I did try going for a more wooden kind of look, but due to how most of the village looks, I don't think I'm going to be able to blend that to go with a completely wooden look and still keep all of this. So I think we're going with more of a capital city vibe than a more farming town kind of vibe, which is fine. Things change over time, so this is completely fine by me. But that is going to be all I have time for. I hope you enjoyed, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye-bye.